can't fucking do it. Yeah, that's good. After, you should be walking like a fucking idiot.
Joe Biden up the stairs.
Yeah, if you're not walking like Joe Biden walking upstairs after you do leg extensions, you need to up the weight, you're doing it wrong.
Is this your warm up?
Yeah. The old winning warm up again. Try to warm up the joints, tendons. It's not really about the weight you're using, it's about just moving. That being said, that's too late. Now when I'm lifting, doing the bodybuilding in a bit, you'll see that I slow everything down. I focus on a nice stretch. But when I'm doing the winning warm-up, I'm trying to just put that load on the tendons and get the blood to them. So I'm moving kind of quickly. See, a lot of people complain when they use this, it hurts their wrists. If that's the case, you're most likely having your wrist back. Make sure your wrists are straight when you do this. A lot of times when I do these warm-ups, I really like to just focus on the end range. Keeps a lot of tension on the muscle. It's like 90 degrees in here right now. Getting it in. It's still a little too light. If you're doing these winning warm-ups, he's got very good tutorials on them as well, where you can just follow what I'm doing. But you're gonna have to fool around with the weights at first, figure out what works for you. Also, when I do these, I don't like doing them like this. I like to kind of round my shoulders. It works the serratus muscle a lot more when you do that. Which are those muscles that are around your ribs that look like fingers. Stick out here. And you stretch your arms out. Come down, you work those two. I was gonna get a drink. No. Keep going.
You doing abs to warm up your core for squats? Is that the idea? Just doing abs for the hell of it?
So yeah, normally that would be what I'd be doing. It's just trying to warm everything up like that for squats or deadlifts. But I don't do squats anymore or deadlifts. All I'm doing them for is just trying to get some extra ab workout in so that I can have a visible six-pack again as I'm losing body fat. Ugh. Oh yeah. 4 rounds, 25 reps each exercise. The only reason I'm not doing 25 on the calves, I explained in the last video, is I'm not really trying to train my calves for endurance. You can train your abs like any other muscle and they'll grow. They'll get bigger and stronger. If you're doing those 6, 7, 8, 15-minute ab workouts that are constantly, you're moving, you're really training your abdominals for endurance. They're not, you'll get more defined, but they're not going to get bigger. A small amount will. That's more cardio. Even though this is fucking cardio too. If anything, this is almost like kind of a break. It's only 10 reps. All right, one more of each and I'm done. I need to get some water. right, last thing. Something that you can do with this to make it more fun for yourself if it's boring is the first time you do it, time yourself, and time yourself every time you do it and try to beat your time. If you're someone that likes to be competitive, you can do that. Hell, you can even see how long it took me to try to beat my time. You could also make it 90 degrees and humid though, it doesn't count.
Playing music helps if you don't have to worry about copyright issues.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I like listening to tunes when I lift weights. Usually Disturbed. Got this hat at a concert last year for my birthday, but yeah, I can't really listen to music when YouTube would fucking shoot me in the head. Copyright disclaimer, we can't upload this video. Guess you could listen to headphones. Probably kind of boring to watch someone work out that's not really engaging though. Two different ways you can do these. Doing the way I'm doing them, you can hold a broomstick or a bar and slowly let yourself down and then try to pull yourself back up with your hamstrings as hard as you can and your glutes. Hell, you could even use an ab wheel and go out. Push off the ground like I am. The biggest key is on the way down. You want to try and put all of the weight on your hamstrings. Try as much as you can to keep your hips in a straight line. Just come down nice and slow. And if you can't do a full rep yet, like I can't, you're gonna push off the ground as much as you need and have your hamstrings help you back up. And if you notice when I'm coming down, I hit this wall where my hamstrings are about to give out. So then I put my fingers down and I only assist myself as much as I need to get down nice and slowly, because I still feel the weight on my hamstrings. It's not like I'm just giving up and taking all the tension off the hamstrings, but I do have to take some off. Holy fucking piss. You sweating?
A little bit. Got all my sweat out playing Resident Evil.
And you're wearing a fucking pants again. I'm wearing booty shorts, I'm sweating. All right. I really like to get my 3 sets in of practicing this form of GHRs. That way there I can improve and get better at them. Maybe I like to start right here on the first one, try to explode up. Lowering yourself down nice and slowly. Eventually your hamstrings are gonna get strong enough to lower you all the way. Nice. Fucking A. Whew! Money. All right, let's go right into my first set of the way. I did these to get big calves. It's gonna make you a bit weaker because Same thing if you're doing leg curls. If you're flexing your toes down, dorsiflexing and curling, you're gonna feel your calf raises a lot and your hamstring curls in your calves a lot. And you would think that would make you stronger because you're recruiting other muscles to help you, but it actually makes you weaker. I'm gonna do the same thing here on purpose. Just because it makes me weaker doesn't mean that's a bad exercise. And in fact, if you got little baby calves, this is a really good way to make them bigger. I do this version with my hips back. And just come down and come back up. Not a big range of motion. But you can see my calves are working really hard, but so are my hamstrings. Take a leg curl. Think about it like a leg curl. That's good. I'll do 3 sets of these as well. I just started doing these again about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. I used to be phenomenal at these. I could do the GHRs completely all the way up and down. This is one of those, you don't use it, you lose it type of scenarios. If you can do the first GHR variation I just showed you all the way down, touching the chest and coming back up without having to use your hands, you're probably extremely fast. You probably can jump far and high. You're just extremely athletic. Oh, that was almost a failure. Like I've said, I don't really like training to failure anymore. It's just, the probability of injury goes up a lot once you start playing around with that. Especially with an exercise like this, it puts a lot of stress on the hamstrings. Last thing you want to do is pull a hamstring. But with that being said, this exercise, once you get good at it, you really need to ease into these. You have to go nice and slow. I would even suggest starting with this version, like the hips bent, is just starting coming down a little bit and trying to pull yourself back up a little bit. And now a little bit further if you can, pull yourself back up a little bit. And do not come into the gym and just start off with these. Make sure you warm up your hamstrings first. Beginning of this video, I did a bunch of leg curls for the winning warm-ups, which warmed up my tendons, ligaments, connecting tissues, muscles. Got a lot of blood in there. That's going to help prevent injury. Never walk in and do this. Don't walk into a gym and just start doing squats, or you can if you warm up slowly, but you see a lot of people, they go in, they throw a 45 on, they throw another 45 on. You do that on bench, squat, deadlift, whatever it is, and you don't warm up properly, you're just asking to snap your shit up. Today I'm going to show you a possible route. It might not work for you, it might work for me, but a way to get bigger legs without squats or deadlifts. I squatted into the high 5s and deadlifted into the low 700s at my best. And my legs were not impressive by any means. I was moving a lot of weight for someone of my size in the low 190s. And my legs just did not show that growth. I always had a hard time, especially with calves and quads. And ever since I switched my training to what I'm doing now, which I only figured out probably about 3 months ago, I have seen astronomical gains, especially in my quads, which were the weakest of the 3. I always had weak quads. It just looked like from the front that I probably didn't train legs which was, you know, kind of demoralizing considering I was stacking up 45s on my back and it felt like for no reason. And I tried the split squats, I tried the front squats. I would just feel everything in my hips and glutes and hamstrings. They just took over the entire movement. These exercises work for me. They build muscle, especially around the knee. And I can promise you, if you do these exercises, and go with caution with this, you need to ease into these nice and easy, but you will strengthen your knees and probably never have any knee injuries if you do this correctly and just ease into these exercises. Time for a set. Hamstrings are fucking spent. A lot of people might say that these are useless because it's such a shorter range of motion. And that might be true, and that's fine if that's your criticism, but I will say this. I get really bad hamstring tendonitis on my left side, and I only get that when I don't do this specific variation regularly. Whenever I do this, it helps strengthen that area and the pain just goes away. So it's one of those variations that works well for me, and I feel like it's put a lot of size on my calves and hamstrings. Give it a try. If you like it, post in the comments telling me what you think about it and how it felt, and also how many repetitions you're able to do, if you're able to do it without using your hands or not. This is my favorite way to do leg extensions. I've done it single-legged, I've done it double-legged to failure. But when I do 10 to 12 repetitions where I go full extension of the knee and come down nice and slow to the point where I feel like I might be able to do one more, it's burning really badly. Take a quick second break for a rest pause set and go into partials at the bottom. And the reason that that's so effective is it's increasing the time under tension in the stretch. You want to make sure you set up your machine so at the bottom there's a stretch on the quads. I get 10 to, mostly usually just 20 extra repetitions in that stretch, and I can feel the quads pulling and almost like ripping as the blood is filling in this area and it gets really hot. If you do them like this, it's gonna be hard to walk after. I've seen people do these and they're squatting over 500 pounds all the time, doing hard leg workouts, and they're thinking nothing of this. First set's usually pretty easy. Once you get into the second, third, and fourth set, it gets a little different. And the reason I like to start with this on my quad day is because it gets a lot of blood into the knees, the tendons, so that when I move on to the next exercise, I'm ready for it, which is gonna be even deeper stretch on the quads. All right, let's do my last set. Even right here, like the way the machine's set up, there's a stretch on the quads at the bottom, even before I start. Not all machines can do this, so just try to do the best you can with what you have. Oh, God. I can't fucking do it. Yeah, that's good. After, you should be walking like a fucking idiot.
Joe Biden up the stairs.
Yeah, if you're not walking like Joe Biden walking upstairs after you do leg extensions, you need to up the weight, you're doing it wrong. All right, I like to do these immediately after I get done doing my leg extensions. Sissy squats. A lot of people are talking about these now. It's an exercise I've known about since 2012, and it's not called the sissy squat because you're a sissy for doing it. The guy that created these had the word sissy in his name. Sasquatch, something like that. But this exercise is extremely effective because it allows you to get your knees over your toes very deeply, which causes fucking cat hair on my face and sweat. Causes you to get a big stretch on the quads. There we go, got it. All right, check it out. My legs are fucking shaking. What I do is I grab a rope, and the reason for that, I'm putting a little bit of weight to take some tension off of me and use it as a counterbalance to get really low. That's all this is getting used for. The weight on this isn't gonna make it harder, it's gonna make it a little easier for you. You're gonna lean back. You're gonna try and keep your hips in line with your knees the entire time. So my butt's not shooting back, keeping my hips forward. It's easier if you just squeeze your butt, then you have no choice. Then you're just gonna come down. Nice and deep. I get pause at the bottom, I shoot back up. Think of it like a leg extension, but with a leg extension you're seated like this. This is keeping all that tension on your quads the whole time. And I don't start with these because it's a lot. And I will caution you, once again, in case you weren't listening earlier, this is one of those exercises you need to ease into, nice and slow. Or you will snap your shit up. What a lot of people don't do is get that pause at the bottom. It's crucial. After a set like that, you earned a seat. The reason that these are really nice, you start up like this, and it's like a leg extension, but the opposite. You get really deep, stretch on the quads is unbelievable, and then you push your ankles into the ground and think like leg extension on the way up. Push into the ground, leg extension to get back up every time. Big stretch. Once again, got to be really careful with these. Another exercise is an extreme range of motion on the knees. If you're not used to it, you will hurt yourself. All I want you to focus on is your hips and what they're doing. Visualize a rope. This is how I was taught in high school how to do this. Visualize a rope, pulling your hips back, straight back as you go down. So you're gonna hinge at the hips, and then you're gonna visualize that rope pulling your butt back. And my knees are coming in a little bit. Otherwise, I'm not gonna get as good of a stretch on them. I don't care about that, that's fine. I'm not loading up a shit ton of weight when I do these. I'm just focusing on getting a nice stretch of my hamstrings. I'm gonna come back up, I'm gonna squeeze my glutes. So see it again. Hinging at the hips, pushing my hips back, pretending that there's a rope pulling them. And then I'm gonna come back up, squeeze the glutes. These are extremely effective at growing big hamstrings because of that massive stretch that they get. Let me show you how to do them with some weight. So what you just want to do is practice in the mirror, maybe stand sideways and see how you're doing it, but it should look like that. Your main focus is just feeling that stretch in your hamstrings. Big stretch, come back up. Spine staying nice and neutral. Not rounding over. That's what you want. All right, everybody. That's my last set for today. Sweat my ass off. Felt like I'm dying the whole time, but we still got after it. Thanks for checking out the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay jacked.